I think we're on. Yeah, we're on. All right, let's make a quick recap. This is, like I said, the last sugya basel, a very geschmackes sugya, and very negeya. It's really mamish of the most negeya parts of buses. Oh, thank you. I'll talk about this. Shabab. I thought those are the guys that cause all the trouble. What is it? Shabab. Here, let's take it out. This is what Fishy sent us all the way from America with Irwin. How do you open it? Open this up. Let's open it. You also can't open it, you see? All the way from LA, you know? You think we're taking out like jewelry over here, you know? Here we go. This is what we spoke about the other day. Everybody wants to see. And this is the shababo. So like this. Shababo. Yeah, shababo, like I said. So this thing here, the way she works is like this. If it has on it, you can eat it. It's OU. You get there. If it would be attached, sometimes a mole, you have like a light switch that comes out, like a bulb. Not what's it called? Who? Sconce. Exactly. So you have that thing, the zacher that comes out of the wall, right? And you want to plug it. You want to just like that. Once you put it into the wall, like, and it's now stationary in the wall, and you want to open and close this, which is how it works, right? So I wouldn't have any issue with that. I wouldn't have any issue with that when you want to open and close it, because that now became a part of the wall. Like, a lot of the hospitals, they have, or sometimes in hotels, they have like a light and it has like a shade over it, right? So to move that shade, okay, so sometimes it's a bit of a problem because sometimes you're moving the actual piece. Sometimes you're moving the piece. What do they show you? What does it say here? It says here that it's certified. Yeah, so it's the first that you can eat it. Although the lead isn't considered a fire in halacha, the bulb itself is considered muksa. The Shabbat solves this issue by unique removable cover that permits the usage of the lever on Shabbat. It's important to note that the lamp itself may not be moved or turned on and off. The lamp itself can't be moved, so I don't understand. You can take this off? I don't want to break it, but it says it comes right off. Would you like to help, Erwin? I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, but now it's attached. So when it's attached, it becomes, that's the bulb? Yeah. This part's the bulb, and this is the shade. That part, this part is the light. This part is the shade. So they want to say, let's go in order. If it's attached to the wall, then for sure I have no problem with it, because you're just moving the part, which certainly doesn't seem to pose any problem. Right? That part is, that itself is just a shade, and when you have just the shade that you're moving, you're not moving the light at all, that I wouldn't have a problem with. The child is what it would be a part of a lamp, and now it's a kli. So the light itself is a kli, assuming like that sad, which they're not going with apparently. If you go with the sad, that a light, like Rav Moshe, is maybe a kli shmak l'yisr. Okay, so then Poseidon. But if you go that it's a muksa makmas gufa, which is it was definitely out there, that psak, it definitely existed. So now it becomes one piece. It becomes one piece. So now why if it becomes one piece? Just one moment. It's not exerif from Chazal. So I don't know if we make Marasayin, if it's not exerif from Chazal. But it's not one piece. And Vibalt, it's about one piece. It becomes one piece. And once it becomes one piece, so then it's like moving a part of the light. When you have a part of a kli, you're not allowed to move a part of a kli. Maybe it's a tilt of a mixus, which is mutter l'tzarech makaymai. They seem to be going not like that. They seem to be saying that this has not become one piece. That's when it's on a lamp. This is on a lamp, so this part is the light, and kiviyachol, this is the shade, and it's a separate piece. And if it's a separate piece, so then they're saying that and you're not moving at all the lamp part. Let's say this would be attached to a thing, and I had this on here. So it's as if kiviyachol, I have a davar mutter on top of a davar aser. I have a shade on a davar aser. I would like to thought about this after this year. It's interesting. It's a shade on a davar aser. It's like taking a shade. Imagine you took like a lamp and just take a shade and put it on top, or you take a lamp and take the shade off. What? It's two separate things. What? I hear a little bit. I don't know if it's Makar Patich because it's not the first time. It's not the first time. To do this to the wall would be a problem of Boina because it has a certain surah of a oneness. But as a Kli, then it wouldn't be a problem of Boina. And it was already on once. So they're saying it's like basically a separate piece. I have to have Shtikla Muna for this. I don't know. It's an interesting idea here. I'll think about it. Not bad. Interesting idea. Look, careful, because I don't know if it's on. Listen, Rabbi say, there are those that hold it's a malachta l'isser anyways. You know, so for Zevite, it's probably a mock. It's definitely not as evil as the other Shabbos lamp. I'm saying, okay, not so bad. I hear it. Not so bad. I mean, I can hear it. No, the Chomer de Shabbos. I don't know. The Chomer de Shabbos also like, I don't know, like Rabbi Schwalbe is saying, there's like a certain sewer of a lamp here that I don't know if it's so good for chinuch either. I don't know, but maybe it's okay because everyone knows it's a Shabbat bulb. You know, everybody knows this is not a regular bulb, right? It's like you know, what? And screw it, and just use the light part.
No, you switch the bulb.
I say you're showing it's miyucha for Shabbos. It's not upgefragt. It's not upgefragt. You know, have bigger issues coming. One sec. Akapanim, the one that I talked about with the arm. That's the one that's more of a problem. What? That one we spoke. The one that because there the pshat is it's just a lamp. It just moves around, and you're moving a part of the lamp. Okay, but it's attached. It's totally one piece. If you believe, again, this is a big fight. If you believe a lamp is muksa, which is definitely out there, that psak, there's a lot that hold it is. So then all you did was you connected it as one big piece. So you're moving a part of muksa. It's one big piece, like we spoke about. It's not like the case of the shade which comes on and off of the old Shabbos lamps. The old, that's okay. Let me get back to it. Now, basically, let's try to finish today. I really want to finish. We spoke about a muchni. Because Sunday I want to go to Tiltum and Atzad, to the Sugya and Shinjid Aleph and Tzivches, which is we spoke about many times to get to the final. That's it. We're in the final stretch. This is it's good. In Muchni, it's a Muchni. We spoke yesterday. A wheel, right? Everybody was on TV, right? Everybody. The Muchni was we had like this. We had a Muchni, a wheel when it's ein nishmetes. I'm going to explain a little bit more now. So you know me. Ein beis medrash b'lei chiddush. So listen carefully. When you have a muchni, you have a wheel, and the wheel has on it a davar shel muksa. So the idea we saw was it depends if it's nishmetes or if it's ein nishmetes. Yeah, you have it. Right? If it's nishmetes or if it's ein nishmetes. If it's nishmetes, so then that means that it comes apart. If it comes apart, that was worse. That's what we saw. The idea being, if I have a wagon with the wheel can come off, there's muksa on the wagon. We look at it like the muksa on the wheel on the wagon, and it's buses to buses, and everything is us. Okay. Then we saw, but if it's ein nishmetes was yes goyer. That's how you remember it. Ein nishmetes is yes goyer. Ein nishmetes means it's one big piece. You have a wheel, it doesn't come off, it's one big piece. You have muksa on that, so then that's not going to aster the whole entire thing. The idea being that when you have something here which isn't as chashiv, the wheel is a tuffle part of the item. You're not going to say the whole item is the wheel. It's two parts of an item, a tuffle part and an ikr part. If you have two ikr parts, it's a different shmuz. But you have one part which is the ikr, one part is the tuffle. Okay, who is konveya? Why is a wheel not important, right? It's the chazal we're konveya that. Without them, I don't know if we would have said that. That's part of the chedushim over here. But the wheel is not important, and therefore she will be muksa if she has something that was munach on her. But the wagon won't be. That's what we saw yesterday. I mentioned yesterday Chai Adam. You have to know, I guess, the Kallus over here. It's not lalacha really, because Mishabur is not like this. But you do have to know the Chai Adam in Siman Samach Zayin Sif Kut Yud. He has a whole different mahalach over here. He learns that applying this to, let's say, pockets, I'll make it a practical case. So we spoke yesterday about the bag pockets. We'll call it the bag pockets, the one in the jackets, right? You have the pockets over here that are bags. So we said that's a good example of this sugya. We said, the Mishabura says, that's a good example of the sugya. And we saw that a bag pocket is a non-chashiv part of the baguette. It's not the ikra part of the baguette. It's a tuffle part of the baguette. But mitzad sheni, it's ein nishmetes. It doesn't come apart, so therefore it's one baguette. So if you have muksa there, which was munach, like we gave examples, you put something in your weekday jacket, bedafka, whatever, you have something munach. So then we said the bag is going to be muksa, and the jacket is not going to be muksa. We said you have to do near. That's what we explained yesterday. The rest of Shabbos, you can't put your hand in the bag, right? And if you want to get the item out, in order to do near, you won't be able to pull it from the bag. Because the bag is muksa. It's an interesting cheshbon. The bag is muksa, the jacket is. Everybody learned that. That's what we said yesterday. The Chayodim says not like that. Chayodim has a big chiddush. I think the challenge is moving. The Chayodim is not like that. The Chayodim has a chiddush, big chiddush. And Simon Tzamach Zayin in Sifyot, Chayodim learns that let's say going to the jacket, he learns this in the whole muchni, but going to the jacket case, he learns that no, not like we said. He learns that the pocket isn't muksa. Right? He learns that the pocket's not muksa. He says big chiddush, how he learns the sugya. He says the only time the pocket is muksa is if it's a pocket that's miyuchid, in the case of again, our case, the case of nishmet, of ein nishmetes, when it's attached and doesn't come apart. He says that case is not muksa, not the jacket, not the pocket. He says unless the pocket is miyuchid to be holding muksa. That's what he writes there. It's a chiddush that you need to know if a person would be in a bind. He held that the actual pocket is not muksa, unless it's a davar that's miyuchid to be holding muksa. But like a kina shatan. Now I don't know. It could be you could learn your pocket. Ishladin. I mean, this is something we have to talk about in a minute. Maybe your pocket is miyuchid for muksa. You have to know your own pocket. I was trying to think today. My pockets are grada. I have one pocket which is miyuchid mamish for muksa. This is where I keep my phone. I found out that the cool guys, Tuvi told me this one, right? That the cool guys keep their phone in the pocket over here. This one, right? Remember you told me that, Tuvi? Yeah, you smile. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And Tzvieli told me? So somebody told me, this is where I keep my phone because I want to be like the cool guys, right? So I keep my phone here. This pocket is miyuchad 100%, always for muksa, no question. It's a bag pocket, right? This is my phone carrier. This is my phone case, right? And well, I'm not that cool. It's like chatzi cool. So I put it in here. I was thinking, what would be taka? Let's say, with snow and everything, who knows what, so my jacket got all ruined or whatever, and I wanted to wear this jacket. Or for care, sometimes it's a better case. Sometimes it's raining outside, snowing outside, so you don't want to wear your Shabbos jacket. You want to wear your weekday jacket because you're afraid it's going to get all ruined or whatever it is. Okay, so now you go to your coat, you want to put it on. So this case is mamish t'mishtabura. It's munach. It's a case where you want it there. Even the Chai Adam would say it's awesome. Even the Chai Adam would say that's a pocket that's miyuchid. So therefore, the pocket is going to be muksa. The jacket won't be muksa. Okay, the jacket won't be muksa. The pocket will be muksa. Just according to everybody, the pocket will be muksa. Now, if you have to do near, and you won't be able to put your hand in your pocket the whole entire Shabbos. Okay, that's a good example of this halacha. Sorry. That's what he said. This is where I put my thing. That's enough. That's where I always put my phone. That's already darker. Nishmet. Okay, that's number one. Number two is we spoke about the case of nishmetes. Till now, we're talking about a case of ein nishmetes, that it doesn't come apart. Okay, that was one halacha. Now we have another case of nishmetes, where it does come apart. My example yesterday was the case of the belt. That was, the belt, and the belt comes off of the pants. So if you're miyached always that, whatever, you put a phone on the belt. So that we said is a good example of a basis labasis. The pants are going to be a basis. The belt is a basis. And the whole thing is usher. That's if you have that on Erev Shabbos, your phone is attached to your belt, which is attached to your pants, and you're not wearing them, whatever. So then the kai gavna, the pants are a basis, the belt is a basis, hakol usher. You can't move anything. It becomes a basis. That's the case we said yesterday. Interesting that the gedarim of nishmetes, it's time for the oilam to think about. Because Rabbi said in a minute, we're going to get some very, very practical cases of baby carriages. I'm building it in this way to make it a little bit easier when we get there so that we'll all be equal. But we're going to have cases right now. You think to yourself, okay, I don't put my belt on my I don't put my phone on my belt. And what chance do I need to take my weekday pants that I left my phone on? It's like a weird case for most of us. Many of us kept the phone anyways. They want to charge by Motzei Shabbos or whatever. So it's not the most normal case. Right, but you're going to see it's very negaya to have everything clear royce, because when we get to the cases of baby carriages, that's where it's mamish layehudim. Every case, you have every single case nishmetes, ain't nishmetes, and you have to know everything going on. But let's use my examples again. When we talk about nishmetes, I told you over here there's something called the nishmetes. It comes apart. Once it comes apart, that causes trouble because you have the phone on the belt comes apart. So now that's worse. Like we keep on saying, you can use your imagination already when we get into a baby carriage. There's a lot of cases like that it comes apart. So now it's there, bedafka, bemunach, it's a basis, labas. What is called nishmetes? In halacha, what's called nishmetes? What do I mean? That it comes apart. Let's say halachically, I'm not allowed to take it apart on Shabbos. Mitzvah Shem, we'll have to learn this next month. There's a lot of stuff in Baina that doesn't allow me to take apart certain things on Shabbos. It is beyond the scope of this, matzah that we're in right now to go into every case. But there are certain things that you're not allowed to take out on Shabbos, and there are certain things you are. We spoke a little bit in the beginning of this month by Makah the Patish and all that. There are some things that you're not allowed to take apart on Shabbos, and there are things you are allowed to take apart on Shabbos, right? It's hard to give examples. The baby carriage has a lot of examples. There are certain things that we don't let you take apart because it might be takua. Takua means that it's tight. Even if it's not super tight, it might be necessary to take it apart. There's a lot of cases. And it's a shame, we're going to learn it, and it's very complicated. But mitzad sheni, it's something that does come apart. How do you look at nishmetes? Nishmetes means it's halachically nishmetes. I'm allowed on Shabbos to take it apart. That's what's kaveh nishmetes. Or nishmetes means that no, even if halachically I'm not allowed to take it apart on Shabbos, but it's something that I'm allowed you take apart. Right? You like the chakira? So the max is a shekel. Brings a Tosfos Shabbos that seems to say it's Talim Shabbos, right? You heard a shiur from me yesterday. Right? What did you think when you were hearing the shiur? When I kept saying the shmeta is something that comes apart, were you thinking that it has to be something that you're allowed to take apart on Shabbos, right? Or in other words, something that you're allowed to take apart on Shabbos. But let's say you're not allowed to take it apart on Shabbos, then that would be called ein nishmetes. Or did you think that no, it's a concept, a general concept when we're dining on a kli, is it a oneness to the kli? What the other thought? Well, I also thought I gave the shiur yesterday with that hashkafa, with that attitude, which is really that's the Mishnah Berurah. It doesn't mention anything about this. You get the feel for what I'm saying now is a kula. In other words, you get the feel from the Mishnah Berurah that nishmetes ain't nishmetes. It's like talking about a wagon with a wheel. Does anybody talk about that wheel, how tight it's on or not tight it's on or whatever? It doesn't sound like. It sounds like it's possible to come off, and that's what's konveya, that it's two kalim. If you have something that even though halachically you can't take it apart, but it's something that comes in and out, with ease. Maybe I can hear, maybe it has to be something that you do take apart. Let's say you have something that you never ever take apart, but you could take it apart. So maybe that not, or whatever, that I could have heard. But I didn't believe that it would be totally in the halachos of Shabbos. You should know, I don't know what to tell you. The Tosfos Shabbos, the Machzor Shekel says not like me. Machzor Shekel, Tosfos Shabbos, they all say not like me. They all say that it's totally in Hilchos Shabbos. If you're allowed to halachically take it apart, so then that's called two different kalim. But if you're not halachically allowed to take it apart, I'm sorry, I'm saying a chumrah. Excuse me, I said it wrong. I said it right, but I made a mistake. I'm saying a chumrah. I'm not saying a kula. I'm saying a very big chumrah, correct? Again, what are they saying? They're saying once you can't take it apart on Shabbos, that's a oneness, right? Once it's one in Ilchas Muksa, it becomes much more kuladik, right? Kallus and all of us, we're probably all wrong. We're saying a very big chumrah. I'm sorry, that's how I meant to say it originally. I was saying a chumrah. We're saying a chumrah. We're saying a tremendous chumrah. We're saying that if you have something that you can't take apart, you can't take it apart mitzad. It's something that you can't take it apart mitzad Hilchos Shabbos, but it's something that normally is taken apart. That's considered two kalim. That's considered two kalim because the ma'aseh you do take it apart. Who cares that in Hilchos Shabbos you're not allowed to take it apart? We're trying to down on the chefs of this item. Is there a oneness to it? I'm saying a big chumrah. I got this feeling from the Mishnah Berurah, this chumrah. Everybody understand what just went on? Because I made a mistake. I said cool. It's you understand? Yeah. No, because some of you missed the blizzard yesterday, so I don't know. Everyone understands what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Okay. We're learning Hilchos Shabbos. Everyone knows that, right? Okay. I get nervous with you guys. No, I don't like saying a chumrah that I know mefurish the Machzor Shekel and the Tosfos Shabbos are against mefurish. And the Mishnah Berurah makes no mention. He should have said, the Leika Machzor Shekel. He doesn't talk about it, the Mishnah Berurah. I just think that the reason I asked you, what did you feel from yesterday's shiur, is because that's the norm. I told you yesterday the raid, I told you the sugya, I told you the Gemara. I think everybody here, when they would have heard it, they would have thought it like that. So I don't know. There probably is going to be a makom to be makel if you would get into a bind like this, because there is a Machzor Shekel at a Tosfos Shabbos, and you have to know it. But Al Kapanim, it seems to be there's also makom to be machmir. Well, it's a shame when we get the cases, we're going to apply this. Another thing, what? I didn't see anyone that talks about it. I saw a lot of kitzes farm that bring down the Machzor Shekel. They write things like Yesh La'ayin and whatever. I didn't see any. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing that the Mishnah Berurah gives no yachas to it. It's a very weird thing. I don't know. It's like a weird thing. No, it's not so normal. I don't know. I'll come on. And the next shot is like this: the patch pocket, which Derech Agav. Are you still wearing that job? Let me see. A lot of you don't realize it. A lot of the jackets have patch pockets. It's over here. A lot of the women's coats, right? A lot of the women's coats they have all these like plastic marshmallow things they all have now, right? But those ones have like bag pockets. But in the olden days, the women used to wear these like plasticky, they used to wear like the patch pockets. Kids are patch pocket. You don't know what a patch pocket is. So this one over here. So I had a shaila. What if you're like, first of all, what if you're a geek? You know, you wear like a pen. You guys know how the geeks do it? What? We're getting to pocket squares. One sec. You know, like this. You wear it like on this. So this right now, where is it? It's not on the inside. It's on the outside of the shirt, right? That's how I wear always my pen. I always wear my pen like that, right? So I was thinking, what did I tell you to love this yesterday? Yesterday I told you to love this, that what's the bus? Why is it when I have books, I have the earpods over here? Why are they inside my shirt? Why are they a buses? Because the shirt is a buses, because the back of the shirt is holding up, the entire shirt is holding you up, right? So for the whole entire shirt becomes a muksa. So, but then I realized, wait, but my pen is not like that. My pen is where? My pen's not on that part of the shirt. If you think about it, right? Let's say right now, the shirt would fall off. The pen would still be in the air, you know? What? Sorry? Okay, but that's not the ikr. The ikr is not there.
It wouldn't be so stable.
What? Oh, okay. So in Maisa, I don't think it's true anyways, because it's all connected. It's all one big piece. In summer, we don't look at it like that. But are you going to say, what do you mean? The whole thing is not like that, right? No, that's not true. That's when we can identify it as a separate entity. Very, very important. Very important. You understand that? Right? When you have an independent bag pocket, that's a separate entity. Here, I can't look at this as being a separate entity from that. This part and this part is what makes up the pocket. So I got to look around. And again, I didn't see any of the great Gedolim, but I saw that it seems to be that they're trying to take on like this idea. That means anywhere. No, it's very gay. A person like me, you know, he has like a pen like this. Then it's still going to be a problem. Don't think it's not a problem. And it's like this, it's still going to be a problem. That's more like the idea that we spoke about, that when you have a leaf in a table, nobody's going to say the leaf in the table is a separate piece. If it's on the leaf, then the table's not muktzah. The leaf is muktzah. Nobody's going to say that. Okay. Another thing. This is also a incredible kula that the Mishabur does not go with. But just again, when we're going to get to the cases, I want you to know all the potential kulas also. The Chai Adam, it's all a shitasa. He has a whole different way in learning the sugya. When the Chai Adam learned nishmetes, he learned, and again, nishmetes means it comes apart. So remember, what did he do before? When it came to Ein Nishmetes, he was makel even on the pocket, that you could put your hand in the pocket as long as the pocket wasn't miyuchad. When it comes to Nishmetes, that was by Ein Nishmetes. When it comes to Nishmetes, he says, Amarta Capella, he says, let's say my case of the pocket, again, not pocket, excuse me, belt, pants, that's the classic case right now we have of a Nishmetes, one that comes apart. Belt, pants, phone. So I told you everything is muksa. Chayodim says not like that. He says what we learned when it came to a nishmetes, he learns by nishmetes. He says in that case your belt is muksa and your pants are not. Unless, again, it's all how he learns the sugya. Unless it's miyuchad to hold the muksa. That's the chayodim as a gavaldik akula. The Mishabura does not go with this. Again, yesterday I said about our pants pockets. I don't believe that our pants pockets have the heter of the Mishabura, and there's no reason to believe the Mishabura would be makel either. Yesterday I said it like I was excusing myself. The Mishabura is talking about a pocket. You have no reason to believe the pocket that the Mishabura was talking about was Bekai Govna. You know, it's I have a great uncle. He's 102, and I kind of called him last night because it's his birthday. Right? So I asked him. Why are you laughing? It's his mom's birthday, right? So I asked him, could you help me out? I'm giving shiur about pants from the year 1920, right? So he says to me, 1920? He says to me, I was 1 year old. Not who, you're making him into he tells me I was 1 year old. I was 1 year old. So what do you want from me? How would I know what went on in 1920? I said, but and in 1929, maybe, you know what the pants looked like back then? Yeah. I said, the pockets, did the pants have pockets back then? Right? So he said to me, if your great aunt was alive, I would ask her. That's the answer. The original, not the Roshani. If your aunt was alive, I would ask her. So we don't know. But you should know, there's no reason to believe that, there's no reason to believe when you see the Mishabura that the pockets were like that. So I don't know, and I certainly am tremendously makir toiv to my pockets in my pants, because if they would not be there, so then it would be very, very uncomfortable for you guys too. Right? And therefore, I still think what I said yesterday's emes, that it's one big shtick. And once it would be one big shtick, so then if you would have something in your pocket, that's a very big problem. That's like a leaf on the table. I don't think it's a tuffle-dick apart. It becomes a part of the pants. It's the tsura of the pants. Which means if you would have something left in your pants pocket, baya. What? Rabbi Cooper, just one more. Rabbi Cooper, I just reminded when I looked there. Rabbi Cooper had a case. Let's say I have a patch pocket that she has a phone. Okay, this is not a patch pocket, but let's say it'd be a patch pocket, right? And the patch pocket has a phone. And then you have a bag pocket that has a mincha ma'ariv. The mincha ma'ariv is worth more, right? Even though it's all battered and abused, and right. So this is worth more. But let's see. Would the jacket be muksa? What do you say? 100%, right? L'chayra, right? Yeah, l'chayra. Why not? Right? Because that tuffle part, I don't become muksa, but you're also probably not going to help me, or maybe not. Could you say a chiddush over here? You say chiddush and say, look, I'm the holder of this, but the jacket is also holding something which is holding. Can he use it to his benefit? Okay, so we're going to get the drawers and we'll come back to that chat, okay? Good? Sorry? According to Chayadim, yeah, according to Chayadim, yeah. Okay. Adkan. Now like this. What? Back pocket? The back pocket's a bag. Mine's a bag. Everyone's is a bag? Okay. So what's the question? I don't know about that. Rabbi said, if your back pocket got cut out, yeah. So wait, let's see. It depends what color underwear you wear. Right? So Rabbi Lieberman he just said, I know what you wear. He just said if his back pocket got cut out, he would be okay with it. Yeah? Yeah? Sorry? Some of them have a flap. Okay. Say it. I'd still be nervous. Mine doesn't have a flap, and not cool. Totally not cool. Yeah. Karki might be a klishim lachto the isser. It's miyuchad for isser, but it's not a chsar kes. So the pants will maybe be the pocket. Oh, let's see what I'm saying. So the pants, if it was munach, then the pants will be a klishim lachto the isser. You'll only be allowed to move them. It's a gufoi. Right? Sorry. Yeah, so then you'll be allowed because it's our gufa or whatever it is. It'll be something. Okay. So now, before we go to drawers, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go straight to baby carriages. We'll go straight to baby carriages. The drawers gets complicated. I must tell you, the whole sig of drawers in the Shiur is very, very complicated. I'll try to. Once we have pockets and we have the baby carriage, I think the drawers will be a lot easier. So let's go one by one. The baby carriages. Lots of scenarios in baby carriages. Okay. Let's go one by one. You guys know what the mommy clip is, and you know those things, right? The mommy clip, right? What? What do they have on the mommy clip? What's it called? What? No, mommy's not on the mommy clip. Go get her off. She said, what are you, normal? What? Like they have shopping bags and things like that. So that's the mommy clip. And then you have the actual basket underneath, right? In the basket, what's in the basket? Baby wipes. A lot of times baby wipes. No. And what else is in the basket? What? I can have diapers in there, rain cover in there. Okay. What? Second child. No, that's coming. What? Then there's the actual cradle or whatever you call it, the seat. What's in the seat? Sometimes shopping bag. Well, what else is in the seat, right? Anshul, that's who's in the seat, right? Then you have in the back, you have the like that whole diaper bag matzah that she has. You know what I'm talking about? The whole diaper bag matzah, right? Well, the buggy bag, and then you have the gloves. You know, the special. You guys don't think I know these things, right? You have the special gloves, those yummy warm gloves that all of you wish you were a girl because of, right? You know, you all know. Okay, so all these other things. Okay, so let's go one by one the cases. Wait, slow. You have the hood, everything. Now, in your prams, oh my boy, in your carriages, does the basket come out in your carriages? I think in the year 2021, a lot of them come out. If not, I think most of them. Yours doesn't come out. Okay, listen, this is what to look forward to. There's a lot of them. Yours doesn't. No, it's very important. It does very important. Rabbi Schweitz does not come out. Others do come out. A lot of them come out. A lot of them don't come out. Are you sure it doesn't come out? What? What? A bugaboo fancy people. City Mini has a shopping cart. What are you talking about? Fancy people. City Mini City. What is this mini city business? It has what? It comes out? Doesn't come out. No, say that. So he has a city mini. What? He says that it does come out. It's just very hard. You don't realize it. What? Okay, if you get there, deal with your problems, Rabbi said. But listen, on Shabbos, 1 second. No, it's very important. There are some that come out easily, right? There are some that come out difficult. Okay, and there's some that don't come out. Is that fair? No, it's very enough kamina. It's mamish kapi, everything we spoke about. Okay, so let's go one by one. You have a case like this. You have a baby carriage, and on the baby carriage, there's a. Let's go one by one. You have the mommy clip. Okay, the mommy clip is holding muksa gemura. Give me a good case. Why would the mommy clip be holding? What? Pocketbook. The mommy clip is holding the pocketbook. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. The mommy clip is holding a pocketbook. The pocketbook is buses to money and credit cards, and there's at least chasar and kisses in there. It's all. Let's assume you have a good geshmak and chasar and kiss. Very good. That's a good case. It's probably in the cave, right? You have a ganze chasar and kiss in there. Everything good. Comes Shabbos. Look at this. What is this? You guys down it. Let's go. I'll be here to help you. I don't have my thing, but I'll just help you out. What is it? Let's go. But again, it's middle of Shabbos now, and you realize this. Okay. What is she? She's an ishmetes. What? So the truth is, it's right. It's true. It's true. So the first reaction is shachach. I definitely forgot it there, right? Second reaction has to be, wait a minute. It's a mommy clip. It belongs there. No. What? What? You definitely don't want it there on Shabbos. You don't want it there on Shabbos. Okay. So wait a minute. Okay. Is it shachach? Let me just think. Is it shachach? Let's say it's meyuchad. Let's say it's the kina shatar negolim. What? We spoke about. I'm not sure about that. I'd be a little nervous about that. All right. You know what? Just for the sake of the shiloh. I'm not 100% sure that that's shachach. I think it might be kina shatar negolim for the derech. A mommy clip is probably not derech. It's probably derech to have everything. So therefore, am I calling it the right name? A mommy clip, right? Mommy what? Yeah. A hook. Okay. A hook. Okay, mommy hook. So, no, but you should know. Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe, but let's just for the sake of the shaila, let's say that the case is you have a Shabbos baby carriage and a weekday baby carriage, you know. And no, it's not even upgefragt because the Shabbos one is taka. Let's say the weekday one you go shopping with and this and that and whatever. It's not upgefragt. Yeah, it's not upgefragt. Let's say, and then the Shabbos one you use only over here, whatever. Then comes Shabbos and you decide you want to use the weekday one, so you bedafka left it there. Okay, everybody say you bedafka left it there. Okay, let's make it a case of munach. This is going to be mamish sugi, right? It's nishmet. It's nishmetes. It's nishmetes even with the chayot, everything. It's totally nishmetes on Shabbos. It's totally nishmetes. Okay, so now the baby carriage is a basis for this tuffle thing. So I'm holding her up, which is holding her up. So the whole baby carriage becomes muksa. The ganze baby carriage becomes muksa. That's a maisa, right? Who would know this? The whole baby carriage becomes muksa. The chayot. Okay? And what about the chayot? It's mamish shasat chak. Okay, so the Chayyadim would tell you that no, because the Chayyadim, it'll depend. If it's miyuchad, let's say the case was it was a kina, it was a mommy clip that you always put the I'm not so sure. You always put the what's it called on it? Your pocketbook, whatever the purse. You always put it on it, right? Maybe it's a kina shel tarni goyim. Maybe even the Chayyadim will agree. I don't know. That's a big shiloh. Okay, next case. What? So then you forgot. What's the case? If you forgot, then for sure.
The weekend carriage, but you put it there for, Friday, you said you put it there on purpose.
On purpose is munach. Okay, so then it's munach, and therefore according to Mishabura, aser, the whole carriage. According to the Chayyadim, then the only thing that will be aser is the actual mommy clip. He'll ask the mommy clip. But the Mishabura is the psak. The mindset of the Chayyadim is a great chiddush. I only said it like b'shas of chap. But Mishabura is the psak. It means the whole baby carriage is muksa. Tell the Gemaisa. People don't realize this. Now, another case. Let's go weiter. What? There's only Eze Prutis in the purse. Not sure. If it's Oimed, that's Teresis Yachsis that we spoke about. If that's what it's used for, not Pasha at all. Rabbi says, let's go weiter. You have the underneath. You have the basket. Okay, now there's many basic baskets, right? So if you have a basket, which is Nishmet as it comes apart. Now, you might not be allowed to take it apart on Shabbos. I told you that might be a chumrah of us, right? The koil made a chumrah over here against the Master Shekel. Okay, each case you have to done. I don't want to go one by one because a million cases. We get the point. So you have what's in the basket, which is a muksa gomer. What? The baby wipes might be a klishmach isser. We said no. What? So it might be a klishmach isser. So then they'll just turn into klishmach isser. What? Which thing? Which thing? A baby. I need a muksa gomer. Why do you have a rock in the baby carriage? Dirty diaper. Geschmack. That's a good one. What? Let's say it doesn't bother you. I don't know. Every dirty diaper in the thing, but you have corona, and you know. Yeah. No, wait. I'm not joking. 1 second. See, he's getting offended. He's leaving. You see, right? You know. No, I'm not joking. You have no sense of smell. Wait. You have no sense of smell. It's a normal case. It's not a crazy case. You have no sense of smell, and you have a diaper there which is covered and nobody sees. Why in the world is that a problem with Graf Shalrei? I don't think Graf Shalrei is like Exeris Akosiv, diaper Exeris Akosiv. Okay, so now you have a diaper inside the underneath over there. So comes Shabbos, you want to take out this carriage. Now we have to don. Okay, all of a sudden you start getting your sense of smell back. Right, I think there's a diaper there. Okay, it doesn't bother you. Maybe it's not a Graf Shalrei. Forget Graf Shalrei. It doesn't matter. That doesn't make it that that won't make it that the entire carriage is not muksa. So it's a Graf Shalrei. You might have had to get rid of the diaper. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't make it that the entire carriage wasn't the basis for the diaper. Okay, so now what? Let's don one by one. If you're with Rabbi Schweid's baby carriage, so then yours is Ein Nishmatis, you said, right? It doesn't come apart. Ein Nishmatis. So let's see, that's better. That's better. That becomes one, right? Ein Nishmatis. It doesn't come apart. It's one big piece. So the Melawa. So now that diaper, whatever you call that basket, and it was munach. Is that a shachach? It was a shachach. Probably a shachach, right? What? A shachach. Nobody leaves it there on purpose. It's a munach. So it's a shachach, probably. Okay, it was like a special creation that the child made, right? So you want to show it off to a doctor, right? It's not such a crazy case. All right, it is. I'm trying. I'm trying. No, you with the kid, I'm also under like the rainbow, and everything, right? What? But this okay, it's not gonna work. It's usually shachach, the diaper. What? Phone charger. Then you want it there. Phone charger is chasar and kiss. It's not chasar and kiss. I want an evil muksa. What? Okay, you went shopping. Okay, but how is it not shachach? Okay, it's not shachach. Fine. I had Erev Shabbos. I went and I bought whatever Megillah on Purim Mashulash. Many places can make on it. What? Oh, they have a case for us. He said the child always plays with rocks. So then you really got to deal with it. What? Sorry? A flower? A bag of flour. And why'd you leave it there?
Baby food. You don't have any room in your carriage.
Because that was your carriage for Shabbos, for weekdays. So leave it there. I'll deal with it after Shabbos. Okay, so you find out. Well, a phone pouch. And we spoke yesterday, like the computer bag might have a din of a chasar and kiss. That's not bad. It's a good thing you came today. Baruch Hashem, there's not as much snow. Well, that's not bad. You have like a computer pouch or something. You want a dafka there, phone pouch dafka. That's not bad. It's a good thing you came. So now let's see. In Rabbi Schweid's pram, or baby carriage, right? Rabbi Schweid's baby carriage. So let's see. It's Eina Nishmetes. It doesn't come apart. So now the whole pram is going to be mutter, but the actual bag on the bottom, you'll have to do near. You have to do that, and you won't be able to use the actual thing. You won't be able to touch it, right? Actually, you might be able to put things in it because you're allowed to, put something on books, right? But you won't be able to, pick it up, that thing. You won't be able to touch that thing because that thing will move around. If all the other guys in the room, that they have, one second. But let's say you have the baskets that come off. Let's say they come off with ease or whatever. Okay, so nishmetes, right? Let's say they don't come off with ease, so then it might be on Hilchos Shabbos, it might be a problem. And then, so the Shabbos will be makel, that's called Ein Nishmatis, and I might call that Nishmatis. Good? These are all the cases. Another case, one more case, the baby cat. Now, don't forget, what happens? Let's see, Anshul is in the baby carriage through Ben Hashmashis. right? For 1 minute, he was in the baby carriage, right? He was in the baby carriage, and let's see. So now the baby carriage is a basis of holding an anshul, and also a basis to hold the phone or blah, 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 whatever. And therefore, it's a basis of davar asur, davar mutter, and therefore the whole thing didn't become asur, okay? Also, we have to remember that. Let's say you have the bag, that diaper bag and everything in there and whatever. And let's say there's mooks in there. Why would there be mooks in there? I need a real mooks. I need a certain kiss. I need money. And the money beats out the dvarim mutarim? What? Because you have other nappies. You have 2 nappies and 100 shekel. That means 2 diapers, right? And $30, right? And you have the matziv, right? So now you have those 2 things, and he has other diapers. He doesn't need dafka those diapers for Shabbos. So now again, that's for sure nishmetes, right? The diaper bag for sure comes off, right? Zikr comes off. So now the baby, again, Anshul, if he was in there, we could talk. If Anshul wasn't in there, so now we have, it's a basis for what? Holding up nishmetes. And this thing comes off on Shabbos, okay? I don't know if you have the chayotim over here, but if you have the mishnah, this thing is going to be asr. The whole entire bag is going to be asr. Is it a shachach? He shachach the whole entire bag over here. Shachach the ganze bag over here. So, no. You always want the bag. You always want to keep 100 shekel there because you don't want to, just in case, you always don't have 2 diapers there and whatever. So you're going to come on this Shabbos, you're going to say to your wife, whoa, that bag. No, I always leave it, bedavka 100. But I put in 2 diapers to matter. Oh, that's a good case. It's a good case. I have a case which makes a lot of sense finally. You have a diaper bag. That blue one, everyone knows what I'm talking about. You have in there 2 diapers, and she has 100 shekel there. You tell her, what are you doing? You're not allowed to, what you're not allowed to do. She says, no, I put in 2 diapers. Diapers is more important than the money on Shabbos. So no. The only time diapers is more important is when you only have 2 diapers. But if you have 50 diapers and you're not even using these are your like Shiur lazazels to move your baby carriage, right? So 1 minute, so that doesn't work. So now the 100 shekel is worth more. You bedafka wanted it there. You were munach, checkmate, right? Checkmate, the whole baby carriage is now a basis to the thing which is not so important than the shmetes, basis to that, checkmate. Good? Clear? Not clear? It's a clear nish, right? Good. Okay, good. Let me get back to it. All right, the last case. Good? Now we're good. Okay, now we have one last case over here, which is I always had a hard time with this. Let's do this together and try to work it out. The drawers. I'll tell you why I have a hard time. The drawers. All the drawer cases now, the dresser, the drawers, all these cases, okay? The Mishnah Berurah comes along over here with a chiddush. The chiddush, the Mishnah Berurah comes from Magen Avraham. I mean, it's not just the Mishnah Berurah, right? But everybody's clear on what we said, because if you're clear on everything we said, then this card will go smooth. The Mishnah Berurah talks over here about drawers. Now, the Mishnah Berurah was talking about a case like this. Who remembers, from behind? Yeah, there's like a table, it was like a table, and underneath was a drawer that came out, So sometimes that drawer would like hang, it was like, it was just attached, just the drawer part. Everybody know what I'm talking about, right? The drawer, what? Like a desk, but what? Okay, but you know what I mean? Like sometimes it has like drawers and like this and like that. What? No, but sometimes it doesn't have an encasement of the drawer. It's just like, and it's left with like a frame. Yeah. Okay, good. That's what the Mishnah Berurah is talking about. That's what Mishnah Berurah is talking about. And then sometimes you have drawers that go into a whole frame and whatever, into a whole thing. Mishnah Berurah says like this. He said, this is the same sugya. It depends, does the drawer come out or does the drawer not come out? Nishmetis English, but then again, you have to deal with everything we dealt with. Is it Nishmetis Mitzad Hilchos Shabbos and whatever? We might have our Chumrah that it's always called Nishmetis if it's able to come out and whatever. Okay. So you have to look at your drawer and see, is it something that you have to unscrew? Then that would be called Einay Nishmetis, right? If it's something that it's very simple, you just have to click it out and whatever. So then that would be called Nishmetis, it comes out. What's the difference? Says the Mishnah Berurah like this. So now I have a table. You got it down everything here. That's why you got a lot of cases here. That's down everything. I have a table, I have a drawer. Okay, I'll go to the Mishnah Berurah's case first. Mishnah Berurah's got in Lamed Aleph. He says that this is comparable to a mochani. It's the same thing. He looks at the table as being the ikra kli, and he looks at the drawer as being a tafel chelik of the kli. And he says, well, if the drawers are now, it's time for my own knowledge. What's the mitzias today in most of these tables? I did not discuss yet dressers that are all drawers. I'm talking about this case of a table. What, for my knowledge, is the mitzias? They're nishmetes, or they're generally not? Generally not. I also thought a lot of them are. What? A lot of them are. I think I remember they're a track and they just lift it up on that little bubble, that little thing at the end, right? Abby would like us to know that his is not nishmetes, okay? There are those that are nishmetes and those that are not, okay? No, but it's not a tremendous nafkamina because the Mishabura tells us, let's say in that drawer is muksa. On Shabbos, come Shabbos, I want to move around that table. Very normal case, okay? Right now, there's nothing on the table. I'll get that. There's a million cases here. That's why it gets complicated. I saw that Rav Nissen Kaplan was saying he has in the Or Yisrael, comes out all the time. He has it in the 17th volume there. He's got 30 pages of cases, and he had like mamish 30 cases of draws, right? 30 draw cases of that. So I do whatever I can over here, but he's having a million cases. I'm going to try, that's what I'm trying to go in Kallus. The first simple idea is that we're dealing with a table. There's nothing on the table, make an easy case, right? Soon we'll deal with it. There's a svarim on the table, there's a leichters on the table. I gotta have this. And where I keep my leichters, there's a table, there's a leichters, and there's a drawer. It's the most normal thing, this Rabbi said. So comes again, Rabbi the Mishabura, he says if you have a table and there's nothing on the table, and you have the drawer, and inside the drawer there's muksa. And then evil muksa, and it's munach, and whatever the case is. He says, so that is the din of mochani, and now you have to know if it's nishmetes or ein nishmetes. If it's Rabbi Rosenberg's table, which is ein nishmetes, doesn't come out. So then, let's go slowly, right? Is the drawer muksa? Slowly, the drawer is muksa. At least the Vidim Mishabur, that's how we pass it. The drawer is muksa, because that's, like we said, the pocket. The drawer becomes the pocket. Let's say the bag pocket. The drawer becomes the bag pocket. So the drawer, you're not going to be able to open and close. Everybody here knew already from learning books all these last 80 working days. The drawer for sure is muksa, but that's muksa in it, that was munach, okay? What about the table? Okay, can I take the table and move it from place to place? So that's the chiddush over here. That comes again the Rebbe, the Mishabura, and he says, the table, you'll be allowed to move. The table's not muksa. If it's what? Rabbi Rosenberg's case. Where it is? Ein nishmetes. But if you're like the rest of the people in the planet, right, that all of their drawers, just like you know how it is, they have that little bubble at the end, they just like lift out. Again, I don't know Shabbos, Nish Shabbos, but I think it's anyways Shabbos, Nish Gered. Right? So it's Ein nishmet. The rest of them are called nishmetes. Oh, what a chumrah. Comes again, the Rebbe the Mishaburi says this is just like a tafel dikachelik, which is the shmetes. This is like our belt with our fancy people phone on it, and then everybody's muksa. You're not allowed to move around that table. You have the case, you have a table, you have a drawer that comes out, you have muksa inside the drawer. You're not going to be allowed to move that table from place to place. Is it a chiddush or is it the exact same case? What do you guys say? Is it a chiddush? Sounds pashut, right? Is it a chiddush? That's the halacha. What I just told you, the halacha, that's the Rebbe's Mishabura. But is it a chiddush? What? Should be a patch? Why should be a patch pocket? Why? Which case you in, nishmetes or in nishmetes? So what? Which case you in, nishmetes or in nishmetes? Why? Why should be a patch pocket? What? Nah, that just blocks it. That just makes a cover for it. No, here it's actually, the pocket is actually holding up my item. I'm not afraid of you. But no, is it a chiddush or not? Comes again, Aruch HaShulchan, in Sivkot and Yud Gimel, he says, he argues, this is all wrong. You know, he's arguing on like Magen Avraham. He's arguing on all the greatest people. He says, what's the ganze dimya? Now, it's interesting, his kasha. He says, a wheel is a real emistik and mishamish of the wagon. The wheel, whatever the case of the Paiskim was, a pocket, it's a real mishamish of the, it's interesting. I don't know why he wouldn't argue. This is what he says. He says, a wheel is an emistik mishamish of the item. You know, you have the item needs the wheel to go and whatever. So he says, then you can talk about nishmetes, nishmetes, and you can say if it's ein nishmetes, so then it's a tafel dik apart, but if it's nishmetes, but it's so part and parcel, and it's so there's such a oneness over there that we have to dan. He said something very interesting. He says, but mashenkin a drawer, he says a drawer is two separate things. Now, at first I didn't understand. So if anything, so he just made it worse, right? He says the drawer is not mishamish the desk. It's two different functions, right? That's what he says. So that should be pumfaker, right? As far as therefore that even nishmetes, he says even ein nishmetes should be a problem. He doesn't say that. He says, I don't fully understand what he's saying over there. Well, he sort of looks at it like it's two ikers. It's like two different jobs. I'm a drawer, you're a table, there's no shaykhs. A wheel in this, we have to don because it's one big thing. So we have to don. Are you a toughful part of that one big thing? Okay, you're a toughful, you come apart, you don't ask, or whatever. He says, here it's like, there's a table, there's a drawer. What do you want from me? What do you want? So I have my problems. The table is not connected. It's interesting, I don't understand. So then that's what he says. That's what he says. And he says, why should I care if there's books inside the drawer? I don't understand it. The only way I understand it is I saw a svar in the Chai Adam, which I must tell you, the Chai Adam is not exactly saying Darach HaShulchan. Mishabura brings this Chai Adam, but it enabled me to at least understand a little bit what's going on over here. You know, Rabbi say, what's your hashkafa, what's your attitude when you look at a table with a drawer? And the drawer has in it muksa, very normal cases. The drawer cases, you can have all types of muksas and real emistika chsarin case, and emistika gufa, and emistika munach. So you have easy case. So now you have a table, and inside is real emistika muksa. Okay, you have money in there, emistika muksa, munach, bedavka, alting. Okay, so now it's interesting. I opened up my mind to think like this. He says the table is holding up two things. Look how his attitude was. The table is holding up a drawer. That's a davar shel heter. A drawer is a davar shel heter. A drawer is something that you can do mutter things with, right? And the table is also holding up the money. Again, that doesn't stem with most of what you've been hearing for the last 2 days. But that's how he looked at it. He wanted to say it might be a basis of davar us or davar mutter. When you look at the drawer is holding up these two things. It's chedushim. I must tell you, it's chedushim. He said, what? That you can't do. If you're going to do that, so then all buses is out the window, right? The whole buses is a wreck, right? You can't do that. I didn't talk about that case because that's a complicated case. Don't get into that case yet. But a regular case, the table with the desk, that's the case of Mishabura. I must tell you, I don't understand why the Mishabura is a chiddush. And I don't know if it's within my contract to explain why it's a chiddush, and I don't know if it's within your responsibility right now to figure out why the Mishabura is a chiddush. All the poskim did not think it's a chiddush, and this is how we're going. Because that's the pashtus. The pashtus is table, drawer. Does the drawer come out? Does the drawer not come out? That's how we done. Now with this, I could go through whatever the time allows us, a few cases over here. So let's see what we get to. So first of all, most of us have dressers, types of dressers, like a bunch of drawers, right? What are they called? Dressers, I think, right? You have dressers, but you can have like little mini ones, all drawers. That's not what the Mishnah Berurah is talking about, Let's think for a second, okay? You have let's say even those keter drawers, let's say you have keter drawers, you have 3 keter drawers or something, and they're all filled with all types of books, okay? Whatever. You want to know, am I allowed to move that around? Kafir, what I said today, does that have anything to do with what we spoke about today? Those things are actually nishmetes. Okay, so let's say they would be ein and nishmetes, because if they're nishmetes, it's anyways a problem, right? Let's say you would have, that's why keter drawers is not a good example, because keter drawers are ein and nishmetes, are nishmetes, sorry, they come out. So give me an example. Let's say you have something else, that it's ein and nishmetes. What? A real dresser is just, that's not so common to be moving a real dresser, but okay, fine. You have a real dresser. And you have muksa the whole way through. The whole thing is muksa. What? A night table, but it's all drawers, okay? Fine. It's all drawers, and no. You'll see why I don't want to say night table. You'll see in a second why I don't want to say night table. I want to say dafka, something which is miyucha for drawers. Yeah, we'll see. You have something which is miyucha for drawers. That has nothing to do with the Mishnah Berurah. The Mishnah Berurah is trying to talk about when you have a table. I saw one sefer makes a mistake with it. You have one table. The table is a table. There's a drawer. Okay. Now you want to know, can I move around the table? So the chiddush of Mishnah Berurah is that if it's nishmetes, if it comes out, so then you can't, because it's a muksa. If it doesn't come out, it's one piece. So the drawer is muksa, but the table is not muksa, like we just explained. When you have all drawers, so then the top of the all drawers is just a frame. Punkt, it's also a top, so you might use it for things or whatever. But the chefts over here is a chefts of drawers, okay? You're not going to go and say, I hope that's important to realize. The Mishnah Berurah is not talking about this. He was talking about a case where you have a table, that's the ikr cheftza, and then there's a drawer, that's another cheftza, it's a tafel cheftza, whatever. That's totally nishmetes, ain't nishmetes, whatever, all that, okay? When you're dealing with a bak, that's why I didn't want to talk about a night table, okay? But when you're dealing with all drawers, so when you're dealing with all drawers, so fashteitzach, avada the ikr here are the drawers. So fashteitzach, if there's muksa, then the whole thing is muksa, nishmetes, ain't nishmetes, that is what the chefta is. Now, when he was talking about a night table, I don't think that's our hashkafa in a night table. I think most people, when they look at a night table, it's very negative case. We'll talk about a night table in a moment, but a night table is a night table, right? And also, forget, you might as well, you put things in it, right? But a night table is a table. It is a table, even though it has the drawers also. And therefore, then you would have the Mishnah Berurah, whatever the Mishnah Berurah is, okay? Is it clear now if I say something? What? Yeah, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to all the cases now, but that's, so the Shmira Shabbos, Shlomo Zalman he brings it down Shmir Shabbos in Chav Samech Reish Samechei. He brings down Shlomo Zalman. There's a million cases. I don't know if we'll get to every case. If we don't, I'll finish on Sunday. But there's a million cases now. Shmir Shabbos, the 20th parak, the 265th ice. He brings down Shlomo Zalman as a case like this. Okay, year mashiyah. My case, that case, the drawer cases. You have a table. It has two drawers. You have a table that has two drawers. Inside one drawer is a davar mutter. Inside one drawer is a davar aser. It's some of the things I'm going to say are pashut, but you have to speak them out. Inside one drawer is a davar mutter. Inside the other drawer is a davar aser. Says Rosh Hashanah, the drawer that you can't, that's aser, so you can't move that drawer. That drawer has a muksa, you can't move that drawer. Could you move the whole entire chefza? If the davar mutter is more important than the davar aser, then amada, we add this drawer to that drawer because we're dining on the whole chefza. I think everyone agrees to that. That's where I'm shooting. Bain in my case of the funny dresser, Bain in the case of the mishabur of the table with the two drawers. Good. Next. These are the hard cases. I wanted to wait till the last one. I think we got all the, there's no brera. We got to go to the hard one. What?
When the head is worth less than it is.
Yeah, heter is worth less than the yes. Okay. So let me do it in my order. I'm sorry. I don't want to take questions because I have a bunch of cases. Some of them will get answered. He has mamish so many there. Missing 50 cases. Unbelievable. Every single case you can think of. If the dine as many as we can. But you have like this. Okay, one by one. You have heter on what? 450. That's wrong, right? That's wrong. Okay. Heter, you have heter on the table. Let's get a good example. Heter on the table. You have a Gemara. I have a Gemara on the table, right? I used to have, now I don't have anymore. I used to have a stender that, no, not the Bacher. He's here on TV. He used to be here also. But I'm talking about, I had a stender that had a drawer, right? No, this. So the stender, a lot of times on Erev Shabbos, you would have like a Gemara on the top of the stender, right? And then in the drawer, what could you have in the drawer? You could have anything in the drawer, right? You can have a muksa gomer, you can have a phone, you can have this, whatever, right? You can have a pack of cigarettes, and that we said once is a big problem, right? We said once, I got it was of the opinion, it's probably a klishma like the yisser, but you have tobacco. Who can afford today cigarettes? You have to take out a mortgage, and you won't live that long if you smoke. So I mean, so you have tobacco, real Mr. Tobacco, okay? That's a good case. Right? So that's our case. Mutter on top, okay? In the drawer, muksa. Okay? This case, so what do you guys think? Heter on the table, isser in the drawer. What's our question? The drawer you can't open and close. Just one moment. The drawer you can't open and close, but the night table by me has a light on it, so I don't know. God has a Gemara on it also a lot of times, so whatever. Also has a Kriyish Malamita, but it usually falls on the floor. But sorry? Okay, wait. So this is our case. So it's a table. No. I'm just trying to down the halacha now. Fine. So you have a table with a davar mutter on top, and a davar in the drawer. You're allowed to open the drawer. You're not allowed to open the drawer, right? Not gonna be allowed to open the drawer if it's munach. It's munach. Can I move the table? Let's think. What? Oh, so wait. Is it? Let's say the case is. No. Again. If it's nishmetes, if it comes out, it has to be, we're talking about nishmetes. Because if it's ein nishmetes, so then anyways, we're allowed to move the table, right? Again, thank you for saying that every day, it's very important. That's why these cases get very complicated. You have to don every, he's right. Avada, I have to be talking about the case of nishmetes, that it comes out. A lot of them come out, except for Rabbi Rosenberg, right? But if it's ein nishmetes, so then anyways, it's mutter, right? It's anyways mutter to move the table. You might not be allowed to move the drawer, but it's anyways going to be allowed to move the table. So we're talking about nishmetes, that it comes out. Thank you. That's very important. So you pull out so I got to move around the stender. Let's see, right? So what do you feel? Let's say, this is a hard one, no? Because let's see, I'm the bossest to him. I would think it's pasha, it's mutter, right? Pasha, it's mutter? What? The Mishnah, I don't know what to do over here. The heter on the table, this in the drawer. I don't know what to tell you. The Shiur Tziyun in Siv Cotton Lamed Aleph seems to be misupik about this. What? Oh, I made a mistake. He's only misupik about the drawer. Oh, I made a mistake. Yeah. Who just said that? Shiur Tziyun Lamed Aleph. 1 second. It's such a long Mishnah. He says, where is it? Chavches. Ein Pim Gad Mistapik in Yim Hani Davar Zeh I'm sorry. The table for sure is mutter. Sorry. The table is, I shouldn't say anything for sure. 1 minute. The table is mutter, right? The table's mutter because it's a basal davar, also davar mutter. Okay? But the draw, okay, very good. Is the draw mutter? That's a shayla. Okay, you got the case? On top of the table is a Gemara. Inside the drawer is a muksa. The question is the drawer allowed to be moved? The hainu, what's the shayla? So I'm wrong. So that's I made a mistake. So then the case is mistama. I probably want ein and ishmetas. 1 second. This case is probably ein and ishmetas. I'm going to remember the brazal in your table chain until top of that. Should have been davka. Should have had to move up with toicha and ishmetas. I wonder if he's talking about ein and ishmetas then. All right, this is what happens when you go overtime. We'll do the cases on Sunday. We'll do the case on Sunday. But the basic framework you all have, as Hashem, you all have the framework. You have to do these cases on Sunday. I think that's why the case has to be ein and ishmetas. That's why. Don't worry, you guys. Everything is clear till that point. If everything's clear till that point, then I get my paycheck this week. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then it must be clear. Okay. No, you guys are going to hear Parsha. Don't leave yet. It's okay. Are you going to stay already, Rabbi? Wait, you thought I didn't see? I thought I wouldn't comment. Come on, you know me already. Okay, everybody say. So first of all, I welcome all of the dedicated listeners from turn to time to Shleim Yer Kodesh. And even though it was difficult to get here because of the snow, right, I appreciate that the snow there, not what we had. So it's what comes right after Mishpatim. What's Mishpatim about? Mishpatim is all about, making money. Making money and how, you're going to make money in a motitika fashion and to be an Erlich Yid. And now that's Mishpatim. So now you have money. So what happens after Mishpatim? So what are you supposed to do with your money? That's Parshas Truma. Right? What do you do with your money? That's already Parshas Truma. Parshas Truma starts out and says, Yikhu li Truma. Everybody here heard many times the word of the Beis HaLevi. Well, what's the Maisif on the Beis HaLevi? But it's a part of our Messiah, the Beis HaLevi. The Beis HaLevi said, why does it say in the pasuk, Daber b'nei Yisrael? This is the message that after a person makes money, once you have gelt, what are you supposed to do? Daber b'nei Yisrael. Tell the Jews that now have money. Yikhu li Truma. In fact, Beis HaLevi might say Yikhu li Truma. Why say Yikhu? It should say Yitnu li Truma. You're being nice in Truma. So everyone knows. Beis HaLevi said, and it's part of the Messiah. Yikhu li. What's megib, right? What you're giving is what you get. When you give money, V'nosnoi, it's the one word that you can read it both ways. Megib, kim tzadik, right? V'nosnoi, when you give, you're getting. That's a part of our Messiah. Yikhu li truma. When you give money, you're taking something. You're actually getting something. When you give, you get. That's what it says here. There was a fly flying around my closet when I was leaving today. I made a coffee. Right before I left, I made a coffee. And there's a fly flying around in there. And you gotta see this balgaiva, this fly. The little balgaiva, he was right there by the sugar, hovering over the sugar, like a little tiny dot, a little granule of sugar. And there he was, right over by the sugar. Right? I have the sugar. This is all mine. And not only that, he was the balabas over all of the, all the different things inside the closet over there. There's sugar in there. There's coffee in there. There's even tea in there. There's jam in there. He's the balabas. He has everything in here. Right? I took the door. I closed him in there. Now he's trapped in there. What's hoster? What do you have? Right? What does he have? What does he have? He has anything. Any of it's his. He's the balabas and all that sugar and all that junk and all that. It's his. He has anything. He doesn't have anything. He's trapped in there. He can't take it with him. Maybe he could lick off a little bit of sugar. Is there anything he could do with that? He's not in charge. He has nothing. It's not that much that he could do with it. That's all an illusion. It's all illusion. All the money and all the everything that we think is ours, it's all an illusion. The only thing that we could do by solidifying our money. How do we solidify our money? It's a big ashkafa. You have to learn this at a young age because when the numbers get bigger, then you have to remember these words that you heard from the old Rabbi. And when it's to solidify, how do we solidify our money? person wants to make, how's he going to make sure that he has his money sticks? He wants financial stability. How's he going to make sure he has financial stability? The only way is just what you give is the only money that you have. That's the only money you have. The Malbim, he says in Kallus, when a person dies, he can't take it all with him. In fact, the Malbim Akasha, it says, when the person dies, he can't take it all with him. It's mashma, he's going to take something with him. But doesn't he know that in Tachrichim, in the shrouds, there are no pockets? You're learning all about pockets, right? In the shrouds, in Tachrichim, there are no pockets to teach a person that loy b'moisi kach klum. You can't take anything when you die. So the Malbim, look at the next part of the pasuk, right? He says you have to leave behind kfoidai. You will take some money with you. What money are you going to take with you? What you gave for Torah, what you gave for mitzvahs. That's the only money that you take. Some money you will take. You won't take it all. You're going to take the money that you use for Torah and mitzvahs. But the next pasuk says, afterward, kfoidai, the money that gave him just covet, the money that was for kfoidai, his gashmi tikkun money, that will lo yerid. That money doesn't go. But some of the money he will take. This you have to, mechazik of ourselves in this. That's the only money you solidified. The Ben Ish Chai brings down a story. He brings down that there was a father who was teaching his son math. So he tells his son, you see over there's 10 birds. So because what happens, he tells his son, if I shoot one of those birds, how many are left? So the son says, 1. He says, no, kid, Yingel, Herzlchaim, Tishmatov, right? It's, you have 10 birds, you shoot 1, how many are left? So he says, 1. So he says, use your fingers. You have 10 birds, right? One of them, he says, no, but Abba, it's not the right shaila. Because you just told me you shot one of the birds. When you shoot one of the birds, all the other birds fly away. And you're only left with one bird, the dead bird, the toita. That's all you're left with. The Ben Ish Chai, zuzim gelt is zuz, just flies away. The only one you're left with is the only one that he's going to be able to go to the Olam Emes with is the one that he uses for Torah and mitzvahs. It's the only money that he's going to be left with. What did Yosef and Kisma say? When they offered him as Ashtel with Azefel Gelt, paycheck, yeah? They offered him Azefel Gelt, and they told him, you come to us, we're going to take care of you. They told Yosef and Kisma, he says, no, me, Eini Dar Ela B'Makim Torah. But he said 2 things in the Mishnah. He said, first of all, because Toivli Torah is Picha Me Alfei Zav V'Chesef. And second of all, because when a person dies, Ein Melavin Oisai Ella. What is Melavin? Like Kesef, Zav, money, geld, all these things don't come with him when he dies. Only Torah, Tshuva, Ma'asim Torah, and the He was teaching us 2 lessons. One is he's telling me it's not value. You want to tell me that you're going to give me geld, right? I have something which is more valuable than that. Torah is more valuable than that. But even in L'Shitaschem, he was saying then another terrace, even L'Shitaschem, you're saying, okay, we hold obviously that money's worth more. Okay, L'Shitaschem, it's not your money. It's not going to remain with you because when the person dies, he doesn't take it with him. The only thing that he has when he dies is that what he takes with him. That's the only thing that he has his whole life, is that which he takes with him. And Rameir Chadash used to tell people, Rameir Chadash had a dira in Chevron Gula. He had a dira in Chevron and Gibbs Mordechai, and he had a dira in his son's yeshiva in Oral Chana. He had 3 diras. He used to walk around telling people, Mamish, I'm a rich man. How many people do you know that have 3 diras in Yerushalayim? I mean, 3 diras in Yerushalayim. So one time his son, I heard the story from his son his son said, was hast du going? Like, what do you mean? He's telling everybody, I have 3 diras in Yerushalayim, right? I'm a rich man. He says, you don't have any of it. It's not, it's not Chevron, it's not yours. It's not just, he says, no. I'm a rich man. You have no Yerusha. I'm a rich man. I'm a rich man. Wherever I go, I have a deer in there in Yerushalayim, I have a deer there in Yerushalayim, I have a deer in there. You punk don't have it. You don't have a Yerusha, but I'm a rich man. There's a money who lived next door to an author. The usher went and he refurbished his house. He made a beautiful house. The outside, beautiful with marble, and I don't know why everything nice is marble, but okay. He made a beautiful house with all this and that and whatever. Beautiful house. And the author lived right next door. Poor guy, rich guy. So the poor guy, he's standing in front of the house, right? Of course, to see it from his window, and he's smiling. Wow, unbelievable, right? And so the rich guy sees that, he says, unbelievable. To face feel as a cost, how much costs that one tile there and what one does and this. says, oh, you won't believe I had to spend this and millions and this and for that. So he says, yeah, and I get it for free. The honey says, what? And the honey says, I get it for free. The usher says, what? You get it for free? What are you talking about? Where'd you get it for free? He says, what do you mean? Whatever hana you get from the house, I get the exact same hana. Well, he says, what do you mean you get the same hana? I said, look, I'm looking at it, I'm enjoying it, you're looking at it, you're enjoying it. He says, but it's mine. He says, so what? He says, well, I can cover it. He says, then you won't enjoy it also if you cover it. He says, okay, but I can sell it. He says, so that which is yours is that you can get rid of it. That makes it yours. And what oifen is it yours? Then you could sell it and get rid of it. The only thing that a person has is v'Torah and mitzvahs. Whatever he gives v'Torah and mitzvahs, that's his. The Abarbanel, very emistic a person, chutz from the fact that he was of the tzaddikim, of the doiris, and the kemat rishonim, but he was a very emistic a person, very emistic, and his erlichkeit, and that emiskeit got him a position. He was the treasurer or something by Ferdinand, I think. I think he was the treasurer by Ferdinand the Russian. And so the other goyim, they were all anti-Semites, and they said he's embezzling, and he's this, and he's that, and whatever. A lot of kin over there, and a lot of anti-Semitism over there. So they said he's embezzling. So they made an audit on the Abarbanel. And Rav Don Abarbanel, they made an audit on him. And he was told in the audit that he has to write all the money that's his, all the not money, I think, the Megan, the Rechush, right? Everything that's his. Comes back, they bring the audit, they show it to the king, they're already laughing. The king came out, he says, I know bevadai that I gave, the amount that I gave him a lane is probably a little more than this, a little less than this, and to write that this is all in this year alone. So the whole thing is luxury what he's writing over here. So they tell him, forget it, now we're for sure going to be machrim his entire bias. So he comes to the king, he says to the king, you want me to tell you what is mine? What's mine is the amount of money that I gave for Torah and mitzvahs. That's mine. And that's the amount that's written over there. Everything else is not mine. The haraya, the king can be machrim in a moment. That's not mine. All that's mine is the money that I give for Torah and mitzvahs. What you give is what you acquire. That's how you solidify money. There's a medrash in this week's parsha, Parshas Tachuma, talks about that there was people on a boat, they were bringing schayra to a different country, a whole story over there, and they all had schayra, and there's one Jew on the plane, it was like one of those jokes, the rabbi, so there was one rabbi on the boat, and he didn't have any schayra, and they said to him, well, you're traveling so far, and you don't have any schayra, what's with you? And he says, I have a lot of schayra, where is it? My schayra is better than yours. They're laughing at him the whole time. The pirates, they come onto the boat, they take off everybody's schayra, they steal all the schayra, they come to the island where they're supposed to go to, or the place where they're supposed to go to, they come off, they're all mamish mentioned, that are all tzebrechen and dust, and they all think everything was stolen from them. He's a rabbi, he comes, they right away, they tell him to darshan, he darshans Torah, they see he's a ben Torah, Baal Torah, they start giving him mechabed in Karoi, and they take care of him, they give him what to eat, they give him what to drink. He says, I feel bad for these people over here, they lost everything, they took care of them too. He says, you see, my schayra is bigger than yours. My schayra is a schayra that lasts forever. My schayra, the schayra, yikhli truma. Munbaz, the Gemara says also by Munbaz, the same idea. The Gemara says about Basra Dafid Aleph. The Gemara says that Munbaz, he took on the year of the famine, he emptied out all of the oitzaris for the people, all the oitzaris that they had amassed from years and years for the people to have food. They said to him, Munbaz, your Zaydas, the kings before you, they went and they stored and they saved, and you're being mevazvez, you're wasting all this money. He says, no, my Zaydas saved for other people. I save for myself. They saved for other people. For me, I save for myself. The money that I gave, that's the money that now I own. That's the money that I acquired. That's the lesson of the parsha. But the only problem with this lesson is that, not everybody has such a midah of giving. Now that's the problem. Not everybody has this midah of giving. And that's a midah. You have to be a giver, a person that's a giver. No, meaning once a person hears all this, it's a pashut business investment. There's nobody that has any seichel that would hear that this is the only way that I'll acquire any money, is if I give, I get. That's the only money that's coming with me. There's nobody here that would not, you have no seichel. That's the only money that you're actually going to have, is the money you give for Torah and mitzvahs. So then why wouldn't anybody right away just be giving and giving and giving? Because not everybody has the midah of giving. That's the problem. It's a midah. It's a thing. You have to be mechanech the children at a young age. You have to get this midah. have to get this meter. When a person's a giver, he's going to be a millionaire because whatever he gives, he acquires. That's what he has. That's what he has. So how do you do it? How do you get this meter of giving? How do you get this meter of giving? Pashtus, the way you get this meter of giving is you have to, when a person realizes that he has a lot, it becomes easier. You have to look for tricks. I gave you one trick. One trick is that if you realize that's how you make money, so then you're going to give. But all of us heard this before from all of our Rebbes, from the Beis HaLevi. You heard a few more stories now, and you know this already, that the only money that you take is the money that you give. That's the only money that's yours. Everything else, there's no pockets in Tachrich. You all know that. So that doesn't help us sometimes. So the LMI, because it's a midah. It's a midah. You have to be a giver. But when you tell a person to be a giver when he doesn't have, it's very difficult for a person to work on things. I always tell Bakram, to work on the things that are the most difficult, let's first work on things that you're good at, then a person will feel good about himself. You can tell a person, he wants to be a giver. He hears all this, he wants to be a giver. So a giver is a midah. It's a midah. How do you become a giver? So you try to do it to a person when it's easier for him. How do you make it easier for a person to become a giver? Because when a person knows he has a lot, so then he's able to give. So then you have to appreciate you have a lot. I'll give you an example, right? Today, so I gave, that's other, Marbe B'Simcha. You have to be Marbe B'Simcha the whole month. You have to be Marbe B'Simcha, So like when my daughters came home from Gan, and also it was like a little bit of a disappointment, the snow. It was supposed to be like, like a snow day. And then in the morning they had school and you guys have a koilel, I mean, it was somewhat of a disappointment. It was supposed to have like a shmak and snow and then they were looking forward to it. And then and then it didn't happen. So when they came home, I gave them treats, right? I gave them little treats because, but I didn't give them just a few. I gave them like a bag of treats. I gave them a bag of treats and then somebody knocked on the door, another child. So when the child knocked on the door, I told them, okay, so you have a whole bag of treats, now give. Right? If you're going to give a child one treat, 2 treats and give, that's difficult. You're teaching a child that giving is difficult. You're going to give him a cheshik to be a giver. He's going to always feel like he's being taken from. He won't acquire that midah. If you tell a child, look how much you have, and he realizes he has a lot. Right? So now you see when the child has a lot and you ask him to give, it's easier to give. Once he gets into the Halachos of giving, he will always give. That's how you do it. So how do we do it? So start thinking of all the treats that you have. A person has to think. If he starts realizing all the halakha, when I saw yesterday the snow, you saw the snow at like 2 a.m. It was only by me. Very much Lamo. It was like coming down. I was coming down in like the waves. I live on the edge of the mountain, and I realized the Eibishter Hatat say fill everything in the veld. There were billions of flakes of snow. You see it with the wave, there's so much. He has so much, the Bashefer. He has so much. It's a joke. Snow, he has everything. He just give and give. He has everything, he has everything, he has everything. The Baruch Hashem is the biggest billionaire in the world, right? He has everything. When a person starts realizing the billions that he has, it becomes a lot easier. When I have a whole bag of bamba, I could give a bamba. I can't give a bamba, but I can't say baby over there, If I have a lot of candy, right, I could give a candy. If I realize that I have a lot, but if your lot is being comparative, somebody next to you he has $1 million, I only have $100,000, so then Avada it's going to be a bit difficult for me to give. But if you realize that $100,000 is a lot, so then it's going to be very, very easy to give, and you'll become a giver. And once you become a giver, you'll be zeicha to actually have your money. I'll tell you a very interesting ma'aseh. One last story. I heard from a bacher learning in the yeshiva. He told me that he used to eat in the mirror. He told me that he used to eat. He still eats. He eats by a certain family. He told me he eats by a certain family. He has like a chavrusa with somebody who lives in the area, whatever. But he's no money, mamish no money. And this young man invites him all the time. He says he asked me what to do. He feels guilty. He's going there. He feels like it's like mamish no money. He feels like he's taking food out of their mouths. He says, but he doesn't know what to do because I want to make the person feel bad also, right? To tell him no, it's also not nice. He learns what he tells him all the time. He asks him and then we learn afterward or whatever. It's really good. But he says, I feel like I'm taking food out of their mouths. So I said, look, he was asking me halacha shayla. So I told him, he's a big boy, and he knows if he has money for it, and he's allowed to get the mitzvah. No, it's okay. You're allowed to go, I told him. So he told me, he told me that he brought them one Shabbos. He brought them a candy platter. He noticed that the kids don't get candy for Shabbos. Like they don't have a lot, like this, or whatever they have. So he brought them a candy platter, like a schmacker one, like with all the, like there's already teeth in there, they fell out already. Oh, the ganze massive, right? So he brings it on Friday night. He brings it to the kids, right? He has the father first, for sure. The father said, for sure, he brings the kids, right? The kids, he said within 10 minutes, all the neighborhood kids were there, right? And they were giving out candy, just giving out candy. Couldn't believe what he's saying. They never have candy the whole entire, right? Every Shabbos, they don't have candy. Now the first time that they have candy and they're giving it out, of course, because they're rich people. They're rich, filthy rich, right? They're filthy rich. And everything they have, they give and they acquire because they have everything. That's a midah. That's a midah. Until now, they didn't have. Now you have a lot of candy. So what do you do when you have a lot of candy? It's much easier to give because you have a lot of candy. They were giving out. Next. You got it already. Okay, another one, right? Next. But that's a midah. That's a midah. And when you have that midah, oh, you're going to be rich. Understand? Because that's the only money you take with you. Good job, Rabbi. A moment. Let's say good Shabbos you properly. Good Shabbos.